We'll see. Okay, so let's start. It's our third event. We doing it not very often, but sometimes when we do that, we share the latest things from our side. We'll share our experience. And the whole point of the community meetup is to allow everyone to express their thoughts and how we do things as a product managers. So for today, very hot topic. Everyone loves it and everyone a bit stressed with this topic. So talking more about AI adoption in product management helps to share the experiences, share how people can do that differently. And actually, there is no simple answer that says like how to do the AI in product management, but actually some simple things you can apply. You can set up the AI workspace for yourself in, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and start using simple things even from the day one. We've been doing a lot of events about that. We did collaborations with different communities and product leaders. So I'll share some latest things, what we've got on our plate. And yeah, as I said, everyone feel free to join. We'll have a few open conversations on that, and we've been asking our community members to provide some questions so we can openly discuss them. So long story short, a simple idea to start with. What's the main approach to the product management powered by AI? So previously we've been doing a lot of technical jobs. So for example, we've been writing requirements, prioritizing them, asking team members to support you with dashboards, designs, or whatever tasks we've been sharing across different cross-functional teams. Now the boundaries are changing. So the role of product builder, full stack PM, however we call it, it grows. People starting to do some tasks that previously haven't been in their scope. So for example, we've seen many people starting to prototype in Figma Make with actually doesn't require any design skills, but building designs by themselves is simple now. You can copy paste results to Figma and easily share it with your designer as a prototype. So same thing about analytics. So if you take some dashboards or accessing data, now much easier to build your own dashboard, even if it's a full stack application with a front end and back end, which access the database. Now you can build things quicker. And what's the main point? So I've seen some teams, they being separated because of the, let's say, different boundaries, they don't exist anymore. So it sometimes creates some tension inside the teams. But some teams, they work in a single unit if they align on the main product and company objectives, then they work as a single unit and help each other to do that. So actually, that's the main thing that is changed. So now everyone could participate in the product development lifecycle. And what we call here Agentic PM is someone who actually not just use AI for different use cases. It helps to cover the whole product lifecycle, starting from the discovery, analysis, delivery, and operations, and empower the whole team with the different solutions. So let's take as an example a small startup with whom we've been in touch. They shared with us that they don't have a designer or analyst anymore. So it's strange, but still, like some small teams, they exist. And team members like engineers, product managers, or other sales marketers, they started to participate and took some responsibilities from analysts or designers in order to cover this gap in the product, right? So without analytics doesn't make any sense to continue. So they've been working a lot with Amplitude MCP, building their own dashboards, improving their workflows around Figma, importing, exporting, using Figma MCP to build design systems and final screens and prototypes. So that's basically the new approach. So small teams, they are sharing responsibilities, they're sharing tasks, but tasks are the same. So we as PMs, we've been talking with the customers, analyzing their needs, providing some hypotheses on solutions and how you can build stuff, and actually what stuff you need to build. But at the same time, now everyone could participate. So if you take a front-end engineer, maybe they can improve some things in Figma because they know how Figma works. And if you take back-end engineer, for example, they can access data, analyze data, and share some insights. Easy. I know, I see that Neville joined us. Hi, Neville, thanks for joining. But if you've got something that changed in your team, feel free to share it. So we collected some materials that we've seen from other teams. And I'll share 2 new things that I previously haven't shared. So the first point is called product engineering. So now everyone will have an option to contribute to the product. We've seen marketing and sales team committing to Git their bug fixes, what they identified in the onboarding processes, which is like amazing. So previously they didn't have access to code, but now they're able to create PR, pull requests with small bug fixes, and they asked Claude to fix a bug where they found it. Or for example, product managers, they are drafting some interfaces and a hypothesis right inside the tool, build it on your staging or local environment, and they maybe never push this code into the production, main or master. They somehow share the materials and results with the engineering team, but all are in one environment, in one development environment. All team members participate in this process, and now the code is getting more, let's say, everyone in the team can get more access to the final code, which actually changes the second part. Like in the list, it's a quick experimentation. So now everyone can draft the product requirement document quickly, and after that share it with an agent in order to implement this stuff. Simple process, simple pipeline. You draft your ideas, you build them, you ship it, you see how it goes. You can even bring it to your usability test or next customer interview and show them a prototype. It's not like a final working product. It's not industrialized yet. That's a term that we've been using a lot. But at the same time, it helps a product manager to uncover new ideas and test them. So quick experimentation, prototype testing is the new era where we can see that you can actually use your product, working product, and build something on top of that. And yeah, other things like end-to-end ownership, so full stack PMs who are doing everything, so it's still the trend, everything is still the same, so it's been with us the whole previous year, now it's still with us, and I see that even boundaries are more blurred. So data fluency, the growth mindset, AI, so using AI for different cases. Ahmed, Neville, if you want to add something from your end, would love to hear what is changing for you. So if you want to join the conversation, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, sure. I'll make sure to jump in the next few slides.
Okay. So we structured our approach in a way which is called task. So task is a simple framework. We at Product Map, we've been working a lot on topics, which are different product management domains with expert-led resources. So it's actually the industry knowledge. So what already exists in the industry, in the product management world, and some general ideas on how to do different stuff, what frameworks are available, and so on. Agents now with us, so it could be an autonomous executor, it could be an assistant, it could be a model, however you want, let's say, implement that, but they help us to take the responsibilities and manage different tasks. And usually they execute within a very specific domain. So I haven't seen assistants that execute well different tasks from different domains because it's not very efficient way from the context point of view. Usually you spawn sub-agents and they take care about different activities, and they can cover the whole product lifecycle. So skills are still with us. It's our personal competences as a PMs. We call it sometimes product sense because we always see ourselves as a simple, let's say, judgment layer. So long time ago when machine learning started, the supervised machine learning was a trend. I would say that it's a similar concept here because we, as product managers, we're becoming more orchestrators that helps to navigate different agents and actually cover different process points in your product management process with the different solutions. And knowledge, a very simple pillar because sometimes we've seen that agents don't work well. We are not satisfied with the quality of results. We're not satisfied with the very generic answers. But it's all because we didn't spend a lot of time on crafting the context and knowledge, because building the, let's say, the knowledge and context from different sources, bringing everyone in one place and efficiently organizing this space is a very hard task actually. So it takes some time and no one wants to commit their time into that and spend some time on the organization and preparation, because it's a first step where we see the results, tangible documents and context. But as soon as we do that, we can run self-improvement loops where agents execute tasks, and after that build some knowledge in order to execute next tasks better. So what we've got in a product map covering the overall topic structure, we built, I would say, still the most comprehensive database of different product management topics. I believe you all seen it. So they are changing, they are adding more and more topics with a detailed explanation. But what makes the product map different is that it's structured in an LLM-friendly format. If you take, for example, unit economics, you've seen maybe our guides and the information that we have in the product map. All resources, all things they explained, which means that we can use product map for different AI-powered workflows. So if you take, for example, the ICP customer profile guide that we built with Elena and Elsa, we put here a lot of different resources and templates that explain what is ICP and how you can build that. But at the same time, we actually defined core ICP components. And it's a simple template that could be used by LLM. If you know the template, if you know how the ICP card looks like, you can build it with your LLM and experiment with the different segments. Same time, the validation, ICP validation process. You can ask the agent to validate your ICP, to refine it, improve, and actually highlight new points that maybe you forgot to mention as a, let's say, as a human. Sometimes we do mistakes. Or, for example, the latest update that we did with Ben Yoskowitz, if you've seen it. So we tried to put here some fundamental things about product analytics. And if you ask any tool like ChatGPT, for example, help me to specify me one metric that matters, it actually will provide you with a very generic answers. But if you use the detailed context from industry experts and their suggestions, best practices, and so on, then actually you can build a simple assistant or agent that helps you to work with these metrics. And for example, that was my personal insight. So when we did this update with Ben, he suggested benchmarking as one critical data which could be helpful for your solutions, because having different numbers from as a reference from different products, SaaS products and B2B companies, you will see that it's not only helps you to define one metric that matters, but also benchmark and compare you with others. So what it means for us. So we can use this as a LLM friendly format explanation of different frameworks. Product analytics is one of them, so you can scrap us. Maybe at some point of time we'll provide the MCP server, which will allow our users to use this content for free. But at the same time, yeah, it could be your context as a topic. So you've got different topics, you can use them for different use cases. And actually, that's what we do in Product Map. We use this context for different use cases. And we build different assistants based on that. So if you've seen the interface, if you've seen what we are doing, we've got different assistants here in the Product Map. And you can launch them, and they are baked with materials and all resources that we've got in the Product Map. So Product Map itself manages the context and provides you with a simple example. So I shared with you the ICP just recently. I think I already did a few examples, but now in a Product Map, when you start experimenting with your ICP profile, and if you're trying to specify your ICP card, using materials and using templates that we put in the system would help you to do that. And actually, you can use your own context, so you can copy paste it in Markdown and use it for your own, knowledge base where you store it. And I believe that's the main approach. Even if you're not using the Product Map, you can start structuring your domain knowledge in a LLM-friendly format, and all your outputs, they should be LLM-friendly. So usually we use CSV, Markdown, HTML or XML, and JSONs in order to share the information with the system. But you can use different approaches. It's the most efficient one, I would say. So skills are still with us. So as individuals, I told you that we still need to improve our skills. We can think about how AI can optimize our skills and suggest us different directions, how we can grow. You, as community members, know that we did an assessment of your product management skills. And recently we launched the career coaching assistant. It helps to define what skills you could improve and how, which basically a good addition to the assessment that we did, and it uses the results that you shared in order to suggest you different approaches. We usually provide some deadlines in terms of the monthly execution, and it works well for all grades. So even if you're like a senior or senior plus product manager, you will see new things which are new to you. Being personally surprised, we did an event where we've been analyzing different product managers and suggesting them how they can grow just using the assistant in live. And even if you as a, let's say, a manager of different product managers, you can suggest them how they can grow. So we've seen that people use it for their mentees. So where we are in terms of the product map. So we've seen that a lot of people stuck in the knowledge phase. So usually people build some solutions, maybe they create custom GPTs, maybe they create Claude Code skills or Codex skills, but they don't put a lot of let's say attention, and they don't invest a lot of time into the organizing their knowledge. And I would ask how you do that. So like, how do you maintain your knowledge base and different context for different cases? But we've seen that a lot of people do it very inefficiently. They store very complex PDF files. They're trying to put some presentations or slides inside the LLMs, and they expect good results from them. But if someone wants to share your experience, I would love to hear that. And actually, we can suggest you maybe how you can improve that, and what will be the simple way how you can get started. If someone wants to join, feel free to share your thoughts.
So, sorry, I didn't get the idea behind the knowledge. So how we can actually we utilize it?
So knowledge is the foundation for any model. It's a context that you put inside your agent. So let's assume that you've got the ideal customer profile described. So where we can use it in order to improve our product messaging or value proposition or whatever messages we are working on, we always can put ideal customer profile as a reference, as a context, in order to criticize our value proposition for this ideal customer profile. Or, for example, if we've got, let's say, a list of features, and we know who is our target audience or ideal customer profile, we can always prioritize using the ideal customer profile context. So if you've got the task, you can integrate different knowledge inside this task and ask your agents to execute something with your context. For example, if you share, let's say, the whole product backlog and roadmap with LLMs, you can get new insights and execute new things based on the product backlog. So, for example, build my roadmap based on the backlog. And that's a chain of different contexts, so you can share them with different agents, produce new artifacts, and after that you can execute sub-agents. So each agent could use its small context. The context window will be more optimized. You will spend less tokens on that. And after that, the whole scenario could work, if you get what I mean. If it's too complex, I can explain again.
Yeah, actually, I think it's like the idea of building a rack system or rack
Yes.
Knowledge base for the context, giving context to the LLM.
Yes, that's
right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you manage it by yourself somehow? Do you have anything like a prompt library or maybe some materials that you put sometimes in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Actually, I have I'm using Claude Code, so I usually use some skills for some apps. So it's some markdown files. I give it to Claude, and he retrieves from these files.
yeah, no, that's a common setup. So we actually got similar one. Cool. So how it usually works with different agents? You've got your different models. So, for example, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever you're using. After that, they've got, let's say, each model, each, let's say, subscription has its own memory. So you can check and ask your agent how much memory you've got, how you utilize your tokens, and it could be for one chat or in general if you're indexing your knowledge base. That's something that is a fundamental thing of any solution that you're using. Again, doesn't matter what model you've got. At the same time, if you're organizing your files in the right format, so you've got Markdown, CSV, you version control it, actually you can improve it automatically after each agent launch. So, for example, if your task is to prioritize the backlog and you're putting this task into your agent, then at the end of the result, at the end of your agent, you've got an updated backlog. So your document updated. If it's version controlled, you store it in Git. You've got the previous version, you've got the new version. If you want to output it to, I don't know, Jira or Notion or Asana or whatever tool you're using, you actually just export the file that you've created. So this approach with agents helps you to sequentially execute different stuff, different tasks, and each sub-agent can have its very small skill, and you can build pipelines of different sub-agents. So your context window extends because you're spawning more agents, and you can just raise the limits of your subscription that you are using. But a lot of people, they are not spending time on optimizing the ways how agents work, and sometimes they just reach the limit in a few minutes or sometimes in hours, and that's not the efficient way how you can organize your agentic pipelines. So what you can do, you can put different agents and allow them to access your knowledge base. So if you take as an example the knowledge base that I suggested, the generic one, different markdown files, different folders, you can build the index file which actually explain to your agents like Claude, Codex, or like ChatGPT, Gemini, how your knowledge base is structured. And this simple index document covering all your knowledge base is the foundation for any model, and you can automatically get the right context if you're executing the right task. So as an example, if you're, I don't know, preparing your OKRs and you've got a very specific file which is called company goals, then you can automatically get the context of your goals applied for the tasks of breaking down your OKRs and setting down your OKRs. Or if you're prioritizing your backlog and you've got somewhere in your knowledge base stored the list of OKRs, then it automatically will use this context if it's applicable when you're prioritizing, and you can get the link with your OKRs just because you indexed your knowledge base. It takes time, and there are different approaches how you can do that. So how you can put different tools like Claude, Codex, Gemini, or even Cursor. I'm using Cursor personally, and allow them to use the knowledge. But in general, everything what you need is just to create a markdown file which provides a link to all relevant resources, and it's with a simple explanation what's inside. We've seen that people are not investing too much time into that, and we build a solution inside the product map. I actually can show how it could be done very quickly with our tool. So first of all, you need a Git project. So we use GitHub. So I've got my own setup over here. So what we will do, we'll set up a new repository. It takes a few seconds. So just create a private PM map Meetup repository. Make it private, just because if you will put some context about your company, what you're doing, you actually will share some materials which are very sensitive. So put this information in a private repository, not public. I usually suggest to start with the README and the simple git ignore file. If you don't know what it is, just skip this phase. It's not mandatory, but I would put here the Python. So, and as soon as you've got the repository, you can start your version control. So, I don't know, guys, how you're familiar with Git, but I'll try to keep things very simple. So no technical knowledge is required. So you already got your repository just after a few button clicks. Now what you can do, you can create a new project in the product map. Let's assume that we'll start with a simple project. So I'll put here one of the startups, which is our friendly startup. I'll put something like that here. So product map can pull the context about your product from website or any public materials. Takes 10 seconds, but it actually set up the basic context like a one-pager for you. And you can use this information later. So it analyzes your target audience, it analyzes the overall idea of your product and what is your solution. So after that, you can use this simple context that was assembled automatically in order to improve and build your different assistants on top of that. So next, I just connected with the GitHub. I already set up everything for myself. So I've got different organizations. Some of them are here, and the new repository that we just created, it's called private PM map Meetup, just connected with with a product map. So what actually it does, it builds your knowledge base. It gives you the right setup, takes a few seconds, but it connects the knowledge and the product map bot sets the right structure for your project. So you can start your version control, you can use Claude Code, you can use Codex, Cursor, whatever agentic environment you've got. And yeah, now you've got the right project folder structure here in place. We've been analyzing how people do that for their different cases and came up with a generic structure. You can override it, but inside the structure, there are different files and they are like a placeholders for you. So filling in all these materials helps to improve your product context. So for example, what is your business model? How you do that? How did you find the product market fit? Your market segments, ICP, they're all here. And after that, you can start putting more and more information inside. So if you take, for example, product one pager, now it's in a Git and it's blank. So all what you need to do is just to fill in this information. That's something that you maintain as a knowledge or context engineer. But the structure in place, and what's important is the index. So it's actually the simple start for you, how you can start version control of all your existing materials. And even if you are not very well familiar with the different tools like Cursor or Visual Code Studio, you can just put this information here and it will work. So, I mean, in the Git, you can just commit your changes directly in inside the solution. So what we'll do now, if you take the ICP, for example, if it's a solution, specific solution, then I can pull the product context and create a ICP or buyer persona. So let's try to do that in live. So let's see how it goes. And actually, if we will build this ICP right now in a few seconds, we'll put it inside the repository. And so perfect. When we compare, so draft, I'll use the voice. Draft, sorry, wrong microphone. 1 second. Okay, so now I can hear everything again. Draft the ICP for me based on the project context that is available in the product map. Guys, do you hear me well? All good? Just the setup.
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you. So, I already got the context. I actually can put more context, and we analyze as a product map. We analyze how much context you put. But that's actually the simple ICP profile based on the materials that I provided. So it shares some insights. So you actually can put this information straight to the Git and it will be version controlled, let's say, since the first day. So just edit file and put the markdown, so it could be your simple context. If you want to refine it, if you want to improve that, you can connect it with your Claude and your agentic environment. So that's actually what we will do later. But the setup is simple. So that's something that we can already use as a product managers. Again, no software engineering background is required. All what we did was super simple. And now you can set up your agentic environment. I personally use different tools, so I don't know what is your setup. I made for myself a setup which costs less than $100. So in general, I've got a paid subscription of Cursor, I've got Claude, I've got Codex, and I've got Gemini as additional LLM. And sometimes I use Composer, the simple and fast model from the Cursor. when I run out of tokens from Codex and Claude. So what we'll do now, actually, what we can do is to establish any connect and let's say any agents right inside this repository, because as for now, it's blank. So the next step will be to set up everything in the correct repository. So I obviously have different repositories, and we in the product map, we've got different repositories for different needs. But I don't know what is your setup. I can share my experience, what worked well for me and what doesn't work well. So first of all, when we've been using the different setups, we've seen that other team members use different solutions for different scenarios, and they work better. So if you search, if you prefer just search, then surprisingly, Gemini works better, maybe just because it's a Google. But Claude also works better than OpenAI, and obviously better than Composer from Cursor, because it's designed for writing code. So that's why we use Gemini, and we use anti-gravity for search, let's say, scenarios. For coding and engineering, nothing beats Claude Code. It's just way better. So even the simple Sonnet model works much better, and you can install it inside your Cursor as a plugin, and it's absolutely the same Claude Code that you've got installed locally. And Codex, it works better for different cases, but I would say the key advantage of Codex is that it has more tokens and it spends them less for different simple tasks. So Claude Code, obviously, Opus model is the most, let's say, token spending model ever I've seen, but it executes some different complex tasks better. So as soon as you've got the right setup, so if you've got the product map folder structure, like I've got it here, you can put your agents and skills next to this context, so they could reuse it, and you can specify it inside your agents, Claude, Gemini, or whatever agent files you've got. So you've put some instructions there. Why we use Cursor in order to execute all these things? Because you want to have all your agents in one place, and actually you want to give them in access to all your materials and all these contexts that we've been creating. So you want to put them in one place here. So that's why it's easier just to bring everything in one place. I would love to hear what you guys using. As a product managers, feel free to suggest your setups. So Ahmed, you already said that you're using Claude. Do you use the native app for it, or how do you use Claude Code? In what setup?
Actually, I use both the native Windows app and the CLI.
Ooh.
Also, I'm using a coding agent called Trey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Chinese agent, so it's very good, actually.
Very good.
And that's it.
Cool. And actually, yeah, all these things, they are here. So if you want to use CLI, why not? So it's here. You can use the plugin of the Claude Code. But what it allows you to do, it actually helps to execute tasks by different agents. So for example, if you want to rewrite ICP file, then you can always execute different, let's say, agents in parallel. So you can open your Codex, and I will not start because I don't have any prompt here. But if you want to use, let's say, your ID, and if you want to, I don't know, align ICP with tone of voice. So actually you can do things in parallel. So you start with one task here, and I personally believe that OpenAI and ChatGPT models write better. So that's why you can always do that here. But why Cursor helps to do things? Because it also uses their different models. So like Perplexity, for example, it integrates different models inside. And if you run out of tokens in Codex, if you run out of tokens in the Claude Code, you've got a plan B to get more context from Cursor subscription. And again, the whole setup costs less than $100, but the return of investment is much bigger. So the result of tasks, the amount of tasks that you can complete, and also the quality of some tasks is better, and you can always compare results from different models if you want, because I actually prefer to benchmark different results, compare what different models could do. And obviously I start from 5 to 10 agents in parallel because it's just easier. All right, so so much time we already spent. But yeah, if you want to share me something, feel free to ask. What we've seen that there are so many solutions in the market, and people trying to execute different tasks in parallel in order to spend more time on the creative things. So I personally enjoying the time, what's happening right now in the industry, because we as a product managers can spend more time on strategy, less on technical and operational tasks. And we published the task framework, which I'll share the link if you haven't seen that. We try to explain how you can create different pipelines in order to continuously improve your knowledge and execute different product management tasks with task. So you specify the context of your topic, you define the specific area, what you want to improve, and after that you build your agent. For example, you simply ask Claude to execute specific scenario using the prompt that you assembled. For example, competitor research. So you just do web fetch and web search of your competitors, and after that building the comparison matrix, for example. And yeah, it helps you to apply different skills, and at the end you've got a very tangible outcome, competitor analysis matrix, for example. At the end you can ask your agent, after the artifact was created, what could be done better, how you can achieve better results, what you can improve. And it's the framework from Andrei Karpathy, so the inventor of vibe coding, self-improvement loop, which agent can execute at the end. And the next run of the agent will be better because the agent could suggest you what could be improved. So inside the task framework, we provided a simple suggestions for different cases, like product strategy, product generation, or discovery. We do have simple suggestions on how to run synthetic user testing, which actually it's an additional input that you can get from LLMs. And for example, how you can optimize your product delivery if you're still producing some outcomes that could be used in the team. If it's a PRD document, how to make it executable by engineers so they can implement their own skills, which is called, let's say, architectural decision, or let's say front-end or back-end developer, or even designers can use these documents, or you can use these documents if you want to build your own prototype based on the feature description that you've got. So what we can share is additional context. It's called skills as such. Resource. I don't know, guys, how you're familiar with it, but it's a repository of all skills that are available in the, let's say, in GitHub. So Anthropic put their skills here, Vercel put their skills here, and whatever is, let's say, it could be done by LLMs, you can do the same things by yourself. So all these skills are very easy to recreate. So my favorite ones, and maybe you guys will be interested in them, are from Dean Peters. We'll find him here. Yeah. So he's got different product management skills assembled in one place. It's actually a very top trending repository. So if you want to have a look what's inside, he's maintaining it. We're being in touch with him. And he's got different skills like company research, discovery process, or whatever scenario or task you want to execute. So as a result, obviously, you will recreate them, you will update them for your own needs, but I would say that it's a good starting point. If you open this, let's say, skill that he's created for user story mapping, it put here the right domain knowledge, like what is the main format from the Mike Conn legend, so who described this user story format. And after that, yeah, if you want to write them down, you can provide good examples, bad examples. So all prompting techniques, they are applicable for the skills that you're building. And yeah, if you don't like, let's say, this repository of skills, feel free to search for others. So there are many skills available. You can see what are their installs and what is top trending. So feel free to explore different solutions and try them and adapt it for your own needs. So as a summary, we believe that a lot of things could be done automatically. We working in a product map in this area. So we'll launch context engineering guide very soon in a collaboration with AI Maker. It's a writer on a Substack who actually uses AI for different scenarios, not only product management. He do a lot of marketing and copywriting, content creation with LLMs. And he's got very cool materials on how to do this stuff. We're launching our own Agentic PM program by the end of April, where we'll try to cover different use cases and show how it could be done, help to set up everything and prepare your context and agentic development environment. So 6 modules, how to become an agentic PM, master data management, and applying the AI for different cases like strategy, discovery, analytics, data analysis, product delivery, and operations. We are open for any questions. Would love to hear your thoughts. What was, let's say, helpful, what you want to change in your teams. No that time constraints, feel free to ask anything, so we'll stay some time here. So guys, any thoughts? How was it?
Thank you so much, Medved. It was really great session and explanation. I really like it and it was very fruitful for me. Thank you so much.
Hopefully you will set up your context soon and share how it was for you, like easy, or do you still, how you can improve the process of setting up the context.
Yeah, sure, I will.
Anyone else? So I see some people join us in the middle of the event. Guys, anything from you? Want to jump in? All right, then, perfect timing, almost fit 1 hour. We'll share some materials with you if you haven't seen some links or materials that I've been showing today. Always we're sharing some updates in the community. So all materials, resources that we publish, we usually announce first in the Discord community. So it's like exclusive place where you can stay in touch with everything what we are doing. So more content is coming soon because we are developing product map as we speak. And I believe that more things coming, how we will integrate product map into the agentic environment. So stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you so much for the session. It was really inspirational, and